News regarding Omicron is dominating Thailand. What's happening with the test and go scheme? They're going to change the number of countries that are allowed in. Are they going to reduce it? What's going to happen? Find all of that out in today's Good Morning Thailand, and whether the test and go scheme might be scrapped. That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Welcome to Good Morning Thailand. This is Natty.
Hi.
And I'm Jay. And today we're talking about Omicron and Thailand. Now, it is quite a heavy Omicron subject, as it is dominating the news in Thailand, Natty, and a lot of people don't know what's going on. Now, the title of this episode is Thailand going to go into quarantine? Now, that is a very bold question. It does get people asking a lot of questions. Everybody has their own opinions and answers. Let me just give you a brief understanding of what's going on right now. The government has not come out and said anything. It said nothing about a quarantine. All they've said is that they're going to suggest, regarding the test and go scheme, to have more added restrictions. Reduce the number of countries, especially high-risk countries, from the list, and possible scrapping if Omicron cases get out of control. No one has spoken about a quarantine yet, so I just wanted to make that clear before we get into the episode. Now, as news has been dominating Thailand, and from the articles on every news site, Natty, both me and you know that Omicron is the big news. Now, the test and go scheme, that was a scheme that allows tourists to enter Thailand without quarantine, was one of the major selling points of the reopening of Thailand. Now, the government is expected to revise the list. That's all they've said so far. They're expected to revise the list of the countries that are allowed to use this test and go scheme, which means that they're going to remove high-risk countries from this list and just shorten the list, which will make people or tourists coming from certain countries go through the sandbox program rather than the test and go scheme, which they will just have to quarantine through the sandbox, where they can only stay within the sandbox city. So, for example, if they arrived in Phuket through the sandbox program, they'd have to stay in the sandbox for, currently, I believe it is 7 days.
I see. But
Yes.
like a lot of people actually, including like tourism operators, businesses, and ministers, they've been saying that, if we actually scrap the test and go scheme, that would really bring the international market during the high season down. And we are really banking on that.
That's exactly right, Natty, and that's what most of the businesses, ministers, provincial governors, that's their biggest fear currently. Now, details on Monday emerged as the country's earliest recorded local case of the strain. Let me just give you quick information on that. Mm-hmm. It was a 49-year-old Thai woman who contracted the virus from her husband, who is a Colombian pilot who arrived from Nigeria and entered the country via the Sandbox program on November the 26th. Now, the CCSA, and in particular General Support Malanium, he's come out and said that the list of low-risk countries eligible for the tourism opening scheme will be reviewed, and the COVID-19 screening measures will be intensified. So if anything, far away from a quarantine, they're saying that let's work with what we have right now. Let's reduce the list. Let's intensify the measures so that we can better identify people who do have the virus and perhaps stop people from coming in. Now, they will identify these high-risk countries before holding a meeting on Friday to decide on the extent to which the test and go scheme may need to be revised. So on Friday, they will decide what really happens. So you'll have to stay tuned for more further detailed information from the government and reliable sources on what's really going to happen, because during the week everyone will have their opinions, everyone will have news coming out saying this about Omicron, this is what's going to happen. But as of right now, the honest truth is that the government has not said anything yet, and we will have to wait for reliable, factual information that will most probably come out on Friday.
Yeah, we're going to keep that in suspense.
Yes. However, we're going to take a tour now and discuss certain things that people in power or people that are relevant to this test and go schemes that have impact to their business, and we're going to take a look at what opinions they have currently on the test and go scheme. So starting off, Natty, what has the TAT got to say?
Well, the TAT, I have a quote from the governor himself, Kun Yuttasak Supason. He insists that no such decision has been made yet, according to what you said also. And he says here, quote, "We'll still have to hear from the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration, or the CCSA, about the final decision this week. The CCSA has stated clearly it plans to listen to all stakeholders carefully before nailing down a decision. And the Thai tourism operators don't want to start over again with a mandatory quarantine, and they kind of acknowledge and accept that, and they'll really take into account everybody's voices."
That's right. Almost everyone is against the whole quarantine. Now, moving on further, the president of the Thai Hotels Association, Kun Marisa Sukoson Nunpatki, said that the ongoing screening measures under the reopening plan are still quite effective, with only a few positive tests recorded. And abrupt changes to travel rules would affect both the overall economy and the country's image. Now, when we start talking about the country's image, personally, I feel like we're treading into dangerous territory, because it's not about the image, is it? It's about dealing with facts, and it's dealing with the best thing to do for the country. I hope that no one's going to make a decision based on how they end up looking. Both measures, but some measures could be added to ensure a higher level of safety, she went on further to say, such as requiring a RT-PCR test within 24 or 48 hours prior to departure, asking for a complete vaccination certificate with a booster, and enforcing a digital health pass in every public place. Now, that could be a better move than completely scrapping the scheme. I don't know how tourists will react to this. People who are coming to the country have already had a lot to deal with. Is this going to be a deal breaker? We don't know. Let's move on further to Phuket.
Yeah, so the president of the Phuket Tours Association says that Phuket is really confident about the safety and entry process that they have set up for the sandbox program in July of this year. And it's acceptable if the test and go scheme is scrapped and we only receive tourists by the sandbox scheme, but they strongly disagree if tourists coming to the island have to stay in quarantine as well.
Yep.
He also added that the test and go scheme is more productive than the sandbox pilot program, because the number of tourists have jumped 5 times from 600 to 3,000 people per day. That's a lot.
That is a lot, and it makes sense, because it's a matter of, do I want to stay in a sandbox program for, they were going to change it from 7 to 5, like let's say for 5 days. It's still 5 days of hotels, 5 days of staying in a city and not going where I perhaps want to be. And that could be a deal breaker for a lot of people. And the test and go scheme has clear statistical advantage from 300, so it was 600 to 3,000 per day.
Yes.
That's how big of a number jump it was of the tourists incoming. So it has had a huge impact, and it basically needs to stay for the economy, for the huge push that all the businesses and the government is making for the revival of Thai tourism and its economy. Now, moving on further, let's for argument's sake, for talking about it, let's say, for example, if the test and go is scrapped. It is not. Clarification. Let's say if it is scrapped, what if we only have the sandbox program? Now, Kun Pisut Sek, who is the president of the Thailand Health Association's Eastern chapter, said the international market will decrease by 30% if the test and go scheme is suspended and replaced by the sandbox program, as tourists feel as though they cannot roam around freely, which makes sense. Let's move on to Pattaya. Kun Thanet Subhon Saha Srungsri, who is the acting president of the Chonburi Tourism Council. He said the number of tourists to Pattaya recently improved, reaching 500 to 700 per day, up from 300 the previous month. However, if the country maintains the sandbox program, the impact will not be as critical as quarantine measures. Now, he's got a point, yes. If the test and go scheme is gone and we continue with the sandbox program, it's not going to be as bad as if quarantine is put into place. So even places like Pattaya that are finally getting a little light at the end of the tunnel, if we stop the test and go scheme and these numbers drop again, it's going to be dire consequences for Pattaya. And Omicron is definitely not doing any favors for the reopening of their entertainment venues that people have been so desperately wanting to reopen again. Let's take a quick look at Samui.
Yeah, so the president of Tourism Association of Koh Samui said that the test and go scheme has helped attract more travelers, now 300 to 500 per day, and that's from a single-digit figure earlier. And compared with the early stages of reopening, when the rate was, I just said that, the suspension of the test and go would put the brakes on the current momentum because of the challenges with direct flights, and Koh Samui does not have sufficient air connectivity if it depends solely on the sandbox program.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Natty, what I'm worried about is that we haven't even started talking about Chiang Mai. We have not even started talking about all the other provinces in Thailand, whether it's in the south, whether it's in Isan, whether it's in the north. We're currently only talking about the people who've come out and spoken about their feelings regarding this. But as far as we know, no one would be for this. No one would be for quarantine, whether it's regarding businesses, the governors, and no one is actually talking about the quarantine. It's just the fears of people, like, you know, when people start talking about, oh no, Omicron's taking over, what's going to happen, we just like it to be known that as of right now, don't panic about something that we don't know, right? We don't know if there's going to be a quarantine. We don't know if there's going to be what we know right now is just that they're going to review the test and go scheme. So all this news about people talking about it's going to go back in quarantine, this is the death of tourism. We see a lot of comments, not just on our live chat, not just on articles, but even other news agencies. When you're reading the news and you see all this fear mongering going on, everybody needs to stay calm and review the situation for what it is currently. We need to wait for the government to come out and give facts and look at them and then reevaluate how we feel about the situation rather than just giving our opinions blindly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so in this time of fear and uncertainty, I would just suggest people that pay attention to the news and only listen to facts, really.
Yeah.
And you, as always, at thetiger.com, you can find more and up-to-date latest information on the test and go scheme, on what's going on around Thailand, and we promise to give you only facts and not opinions. As of right now, let's take a quick break, Natty. Once we come back from the break, I promise we're going to have a lot more light-hearted news as Maya Bay reopens, but possibly no swimming allowed, and you have to pay a fee. As well as an earthquake in Laos cracks a Buddha statue, and in particular this is important because it's a 425-year-old Buddha statue. And finally, a fish in a bottle. What's all that about? Find out after the break.
Find the coffee roast you love most. Coffee Culture delivers Thai coffee online. Whole beans or pre-ground delivered to your doorstep in Thailand. Go to coffeeculture.asia and get coffee you love delivered to your doorstep.
Welcome back and hello to Good Morning Thailand. This is Natty.
Hello.
And I'm Jay.
Now we're finally alive somehow.
I felt like it needed a bit more serious tone because we were talking about a serious topic.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's not good to make jokes and it's also difficult to smile while you're talking about possible changes to the country and the effects and impact it might have on the survival of the tourism, the economy, and the people.
Yeah.
So we're back after the break, refreshed.
Very refreshed.
Very refreshed. People were complaining that I don't say my hello anymore.
You have to wait till the second half.
Second half is where the party begins.
Yes.
Right. Before we continue on with the program, I'd like to give a quick thank you to Mark Banker. Thank you for being a Tiger member and supporting the channel, as well as Coffee Culture. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Chocolate-infused coffee for your beautiful Christmas. You can also buy gift boxes in where you can taste different Coffee Culture coffee, as well as buy beautiful mugs. You can check them out at coffeeculture.asia. All right, Natty, Maya Bay. We've been talking about it for months. Made famous from the movie The Beach, from Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, I saw this article today, and I wanted to mention it because something ridiculous I saw made me feel like I need to talk about this. Now, Maya Bay is reopening on January 1st. They were talking that maybe it doesn't reopen, will it reopen, blah, 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 blah. Now, it's been confirmed that it's going to open January the 1st. However, they're saying that people aren't allowed to swim.
Ooh.
And also that you might possibly need to pay a fee to visit the island. Now, I understand why it was shut down. Because of its popularity, people went in and damaged the island, right? So they had to shut it down for a couple of years. Now it's back. And now they're saying that, all right, you can come in your boat. You can't really swim there. And you have to pay just to walk on the beach where Leonardo DiCaprio walked. Would you go to this Maya Bay?
It's because I've been there already, and there's nothing extraordinary beyond what other Thailand beaches offer. I would not go, especially if I have to pay to get in. It's a no-go for me.
I think that's the silliest thing ever.
Yeah.
Why would I want to travel, God knows what, 1 hour, depending on where you're traveling from, 1 hour by boat to this bay? And, long-tail boats aren't allowed to park, so you've got to park outside. Then you've got to find this special way onto the beach. Then you can't even swim at the beach. You just go, take a couple of pictures. I went to Maya, and that's it.
Right.
Or you're just supposed to admire the view. I just feel like if you want to preserve it, just don't open it. Just keep it closed. Don't open it and then be like, oh, you can only come and walk on the sand, and then you have to walk back after an hour.
Right.
I believe only 365 people are allowed at a time as well.
Wow.
Is there going to be a line of boats of people wanting to come onto the island? Or perhaps it's like jong, which means...
What's that? Jong?
Jong wai ngai.
Oh, Jong Wai. Okay.
Reserve. Reserve, that's the word.
There we go.
Apologies. Dual language problems.
I do understand them though, because it has been terribly damaged. All the coral reefs below were completely annihilated. So they want to make sure that people understand the magnitude of what they did. It's not they want to try to preserve it as much as possible. And they believe that if we put these punitive measurements on them, people would feel like, oh, there's value, there's a price to enter, therefore I should act according to a certain way. And I don't know. I wonder what the price fee is. If it's not too ridiculous, maybe is it not? If it's just a little bit of a maintenance
I've just
fee.
had it with restrictions, Natty.
Right.
I will not be held back.
I don't know, but also the no swimming part is weird. If they said no scuba diving, I can kind of be with that. But no swimming at all seems a bit sad because you're at the beach. You want to swim, right?
It's like when somebody says, do you want an ice cream? And you say yes, and then there's just an ice cream
Smell
cone.
it.
Yeah, it's just held in front of you.
Right.
You can't taste it, you can't eat it, but you can look at it and you can smell it.
Right.
That's what I feel. So I just feel like you either keep it closed, It is important, it's gorgeous, maintain it. But if you're going to allow people in, you've got to let them loose.
You're
gotta let 'em
extreme.
loose.
You're like black or white.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
There's no gray, there's no in between.
Oh, wow.
I want to be free. I want to feel free, Natty.
Okay.
Moving on, talking about being free, there was an earthquake in Laos, did you know?
I heard, yes.
Yes. However, the reason I'm talking about this earthquake, although awful that it happened, this earthquake in Laos cracked a 425-year-old Buddha all the way in Thailand.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right. A 5.8 magnitude earthquake in Laos shook Thailand and caused a 425-year-old Buddha statue in the northern border province in Nan to crack. Now, the shake could be felt by those in Thailand's northern and northeastern provinces. That's right. Now, this has actually happened before. A previous earthquake has had a crack at the had a crack at the Buddha statue. However, this one was a lot stronger and a deeper crack. I wonder if this is actually going to attract more people to go visit the temple and perhaps the statue as well. It is a 425-year-old Buddha statue. Wow.
I feel like if it wasn't because of this news, if it wasn't because the Buddha was cracked, I would have never known that there is such a Buddha that exists there.
And that's exactly my point, because
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
There are a lot of temples in Thailand. And the fact that this temple and this statue is getting some attention, and Nan especially, Nan is a beautiful place, by the way. It's getting attention is great, because I hope that people now pay more attention to it, go visit and help the tourism of Nan.
Actually, in Nan, there's a lot more temples that are a century old as well, like more than 100 years old.
Yes.
But none of the other statues have been cracked. So I wonder, this must be quite a big Buddha statue, or I don't know, the material that's been made of has to be different somehow.
Well, it is 425 years old anyways,
Yeah.
unless it's made of solid gold. I don't know what material it is, but you can find more information on that on the Thaiger.com. We've got an article written on that. And finally, our last topic for today requires a strong appetite because, you know, when you get thirsty and you want to drink some water out of your bottle, the last thing you want to see is a fish in a bottle. What do I mean by that, Natty?
Well, yeah, so somebody, unknown source, by the way, like it's somebody who posted on Facebook, said that they went to the store, got like a huge, you know, like those sprinkler bottles that's very, very big. But this person probably bought it.
Those blue ones, is it?
Those blue ones, but it's not sprinkler brand, just so you know, so we don't, yeah. But it's kind of like those big tank ones. But it was a local brand.
Okay.
And when he looked inside it, he realized that there was a small little silver fish swimming inside. But the weird thing is that the top was still sealed.
Wow.
That means like there's oxygen, there's, I don't know, it's the living conditions for the fish was still okay for it to live. And so some people were like, oh, that means it's very natural. You should drink it. Or some people are like, well, good thing that you could see the fish in the bottle or not, then you'll be having a drink and your dinner at the same time. So it's a little fun news for you, I guess.
Hashtag Finding Nemo 4 confirmed. I don't even know how many Finding Nemos there's been.
I'm not
The
sure.
fish that survived.
Yeah. The silver fish this time.
But that's absolutely disgusting. I mean,
Well, it's kind of cute if you saw the
how's
picture.
that cute?
don't
I would
know,
be
like, I like little
furious. I
fishes.
just want my drinking water. I don't want to see a fish swimming in my water tank.
I don't know. I would definitely make it
How
a
are
pet.
you so positive about this?
I like animals. That's why. They're yummy.
You buy drinking water and find a fish inside there and think, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. I actually bought cabbage from this organic supermarket. When I came home, I sliced open the cabbage and there were worms, like very tiny little green worms. I thought those were cute too. I tried to cultivate them, but they kind of died before I could grow them into butterflies. All right, let's
Enough
move on.
fish talk. All right, let's take a quick break. Once we return from the break, let's take a couple of questions from our viewers. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. We'll be back right after this.
Isn't it time for you to come back to the islands? Phuket is open and it's never looked better. Choose your trip to your favourite island with 5 Star Marine. Go to 5starmarinephuket.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. It's now time to take some live Q&A. This is Natty. I'm Jay.
I want to start off. Oh, sorry.
How dare you disrupt me?
I'll disrupt you. Do this one. Paul A says, do you have a pic or videos of this fish in the bottle? We do have it on the Thaiger.com. So if you want to go and see that, do check out our website.
Yes, please. That's a simple plug to the website.
Yes.
Callie Blair Weinberg says, at the Thaiger, what if my country gets added to the no test and go the day I am leaving? Callie Blair, that's an excellent question. Right now, to be honest with you, it's just speculation. It would be inappropriate for me to comment on your question because I don't know whether your country will be added or removed from the list, sorry. So I would say don't fear about things that haven't happened yet because that's the worst thing that you could do right now. Worrying about things that haven't happened yet is just going to eat you alive. So like live in the moment and just pay attention to the news. Look at the articles on the Thaiger.com. Pay attention to the news at what's going on, what countries have been removed. That will most probably happen on Friday. And I believe the government will give guidelines on questions such as these. They will definitely maybe put a cutoff on a date. So anyone who did apply before that or after that, yeah, it's just speculation, to be honest. You'll just have to wait and see what happens to get the right answer. And currently, no one can give you the right answer as of right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to something a little bit lighter, still on the fish topic.
Yes.
So Matt Dulski says, better than finding 2 zebras in the office of the Thaiger. I like that. I appreciate
Is
weird
it me
jokes.
and you? Is it because we're matching?
I guess so. We're stripies.
Is that a dig at us? Matt, it's
No,
Tuesday morning.
I like that.
Take it easy. All right. TJ Riley says, why doesn't Coffee Culture ship whole beans? They do, TJ. It's just that the one that we're promoting right now, the Sit and Stay blend, comes in ground coffee because it's chocolate infused. However, you can buy whole beans. Find out more at coffeeculture.asia.
Yes.
Jay's so cruel, says PG Santa. Am I?
A little bit sometimes.
How dare you?
You're cool
My
to
tyranny
animals.
has no bounds.
Steve says, is Natty really 58 years old?
Absolutely.
Guys, no. I already addressed this
Natty,
in the previous one.
Just accept who you are. Okay, we accept you and love you just the way you are. All the viewers, everyone here at the Thaiger.
Right.
But are you 58? Would you like to clear this up once and for all?
Yeah, I'll clear this up once and for all. I'm not 58. I'm 72.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you know.
I didn't think you'd actually say that, but
No, I'm 72. Yeah.
it's okay.
That's okay.
All right.
Any pictures? Oh, I guess from the fishy stuff.
Here we go. Natty's Naughties says, Natty, have you ever played the Thaiger drinking game? That's where every time Jay says hello or coffee culture, you have to drink a shot.
I like that game.
I love it.
Yeah, we should do it like with coffee shots.
Yeah, we
like
need to
that.
do a coffee culture and hello counter.
Oh, that's
And at the end of every episode, is like there's a number 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Natty's Naughties. You do watch every episode. If you can, please keep a count, and we promise we'll make a show out of it. That'd be a fun show.
Actually, yeah, and anytime somebody does a jazz hands, you automatically get a bonus point. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is difficult to do certain types of shows due to YouTube monetization. We can't promote alcohol. Well, in general, we wouldn't want to promote alcohol, but in Thailand especially, there are laws forbidding promotion of alcohol and certain brands online or on TV. So unfortunately or fortunately, we can't do that.
Sorry, John Smith says, "Hello, Jay. You very handsome man."
Cool.
You did get a haircut.
I did
noticed.
get a haircut. Thank you. So
good.
someone did know Jay's looking a bit sharp. Thank you. I appreciate you noticing. It's for the fans.
Yes.
What do you want for Christmas, Natalie?
Ooh, I really don't. I'm not big into receiving gifts. Anything you give me, I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get. Let's just put it that way.
We actually have a Christmas party coming up at the end of this week with all the Thaiger members. Not Thaiger members. Thaiger members of the team at the studio. I wish we could do a Secret Santa with all the viewers involved. However, yes, we do have a party coming up. Naturally, me and Natty were chosen as the host of the party. So hopefully we can entertain our staff as much as we can entertain the viewers.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, the staff don't throw as many things at us, but they're sick of us. I think the people at the office, they just see us every day and they're just totally sick of us. They're like, there go those two again.
Those trolls.
Yes. But yes, we will be doing Secret Santa and exchanging of gifts.
Yes.
Perhaps we'll have a quick secret video of that.
On the members channel.
On the
maybe.
members channel,
Yeah.
yes. Normally we do make staff videos and in-studio videos normally for the members. We're trying to do it twice a week. Have you done one this week yet?
Yes, I have.
Have you already?
No, actually, I haven't.
You lied.
I lied on air.
Natalie, did you think they wouldn't find out?
I don't know.
Did you think I wouldn't find out?
I don't know. I just want to cover my
That
butt.
the other day in the afternoon when you said you were feeling sick and you went home, were you really sick?
Yes, I was sick. I'm very, very sick. Okay, let's move
The
on.
lies,
It
viewers. Naughty Natty.
Wait. Tawan Paradise says all Farangs will be taken to chicken poops. What? Sorry, I shouldn't have read that. I'm not sure what that means.
PG Santa says, I've heard Bangkok has started to get a lot more active the past week or so. Is that true? Absolutely. Bangkok is busy.
Wow, super busy. You can tell by the traffic.
Yes.
That's for sure. Honest View says, hey guys, do you have coffee in your cups? Ding law? ? I do. I have foam there going on, but
Yes, I don't. I will be honest.
You're
I
a fraud.
Don't.
Wait.
I'm not a fraud. I've spoken about this on the show before that
Okay.
I've already had 3 cups of coffee. It is physically impossible for me to have another cup of coffee because I will possibly have a heart attack.
That is true, though. I know that in the morning you actually have a really huge jug.
Yeah, I have a jug of a
very
cup.
big one. Yeah.
And I use the coffee machine with our coffee beans from Coffee Culture, and I press the button 3 times to have 3 mugs of coffee, like 3 regular coffees in my big mug.
It's so big that I could actually wear it as a hat. That's how big it is.
That's how I like my coffee. I do love my coffee, but yes, I physically cannot have more coffee than I already do. However, I do appreciate, which gives me a chance to appreciate these beautiful mugs for what they are, not Natty's dirty cup.
Yeah.
You need to take
I
care of
wash
your
it.
beautiful
I do
mugs.
wash it.
Do you?
Yes, of course, or not. I'll have
Sure.
salmonella.
Let's pretend like you do.
Okay.
All right, let's just leave it at that for now. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. As always, you can find the latest information on thetiger.com. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you like it, as well as why not share it with your loved ones. We have Christmas videos coming up. We have New Year's videos coming up. A lot more entertaining content over the weekend. Documentaries, real estate videos, really something for everyone. So if you can, please share the video. It would really help us. We're trying to grow our subscriber base. And thank you. Thank you for always supporting us. Thank you for watching our live videos. Thank you for watching our pre-productions, post-productions, whatever may come at the Thaiger. And thank you for your support. As of right now, thank you, Natty, for joining the show.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you for being a wonderful host, as well as Jason pressing the buttons, Shai, Tim recovering, Golf, Num, Ploy.
Are you going through the whole office right
Yeah,
now?
Ploy doesn't even exist. I've just said a random name. They wouldn't know. But I'm honest, so I'm gonna say that there is no Ploy. However, yes, thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a great day. See you next week. Not next week. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I feel like it's Friday. I've lost it now.
Need more coffee.
Goodbye.